The first time he drove a Ferrari, he noticed some fatal flaws. The brakes were air-powered, the power response was sluggish, no supercar here. All that crazy horsepower, and the most unbearable part about it? That fragile clutch. The moment he opened it up for inspection, he was stunned. This top-tier clutch? It was exactly the same one used on his tractor. This massive wave of shame hit Lamborghini like a truck. With sincere intentions to improve the plan and cooperate, he tracked down Ferrari's founder, Enzo Ferrari, but he was met with a cold shoulder. "Go back to your tractors, farmer." That harsh mockery instantly ignited a fire in Lamborghini's chest. He no longer held back his anger toward Enzo. He accused him of deceiving customers with cheap, inferior parts. But Enzo's condescending remarks completely crushed his dignity. You know what they say about Lamborghini? These two uneducated guys don't know a damn thing. After saying that, Enzo sat down and left, but he couldn't have dreamed that his bone-deep arrogance today would soon face an unprecedented rival, an angry bull that would rewrite supercar history. Hey everyone, I'm Lafeng. Today I'm bringing you a film based on the novel by Lamborghini's founder, Ferruccio, the legendary creator of Lamborghini. Though the film didn't win major international awards after release, it holds an irreplaceable spot in the hearts of car fans and entrepreneurs. Because it captures the golden age when Italy's economy surged after WWRE. How does a grassroots entrepreneur take on a giant like Ferrari? Let's find out. Next, let me tell you the story of Lamborghini's rise. It all begins in Italy, 1945, right after World War II ended. A young soldier named Ferruccio hops into a retired military vehicle, heading back to his long-lost home on a Sicilian island. The first thing he did wasn't run straight to his house, but to meet the one who'd waited 3 long years for him, a long, heartfelt hug. Wrapping up all the war scars and heading home. His father and brother's warm welcome made him feel something he hadn't in years. But that comfort was short-lived. His father owned hundreds of kilometers of farmland. He wanted Ferruccio to inherit the family business and live a stable, quiet life. "What about me? I don't want it, Papa. You're a farmer." But for a former military mechanic whose heart beat for engines, the piece of farmland felt like a prison. So he sketched out his own blueprint and showed it to his father. Post-war Italy's agricultural sector was recovering, and the demand for tractors was skyrocketing. But the only supplier in the market was overpriced and clunky as hell. The fuel consumption was outrageous. He wanted to build a small, cheap, efficient tractor, so every ordinary farmer could have a modern tool. I want the world to never forget the money you threw away. But what better way to chase greatness? His father's words stuck with him. He believed farmers could never beat capitalists. But in the eyes of the wealthy, burning money was a right no one could question. He reached out to his former comrade Matteo, with his wife's backing. The three formed the original team. No money, no fame. Trying to survive in a cutthroat market, it seemed impossible. But then a chance appeared. Sicily was about to host a race. If they won the championship, they'd gain a reputation and attract serious investment. On race day, Enzo Ferrari himself showed up. Basking in the crowd's cheers, Ferruccio stood below the stage, filled with envy and ambition, dreaming of one day reaching that same height. Right at the start, their race car was in second place. But as the track entered the second half of the bend, they lacked cornering advantage. Their position started slipping, and the gap to the leaders kept growing. Under pressure at the intersection, Ferruccio and Matteo clashed hard over driving strategy. "Come on, Paluccio, pit now." Go, go, go. Take the inside lane before the turn. We don't have the speed, we have to outsmart them. We're never making it. What the hell are you doing, man? What are you even praying for? That intense argument cost them their last chance. Looking at the back of the other player's strength from afar, Ferruccio's face was full of indifference and sadness. He finally understood that the first hit of fate is often not to defeat you, but to make you see clearly. Under the peak of glory, He'll be all right. He'll be a great father. The words of his wife were like a ray of light that scattered the ink in his heart. He was brave enough to find his father, who was working in the farm. Facing his father, he was full of guilt and did not know how to speak. His father saw through his stubbornness, although he still said that he did not support it, but he still silently ran out of all the money in his wallet. "I don't have much, but I'll give you what I have." Facing his father's kindness, the rich and the poor, but still facing the sorrow, he knew that if he wanted to succeed, the money was far from enough, so he determined to promise his father. He made a promise that he would succeed this time. Looking at the fire in his son's eyes, his father finally took out his treasure. This deep love became the first fuel for the dream of the drug dealer. However, when he told his wife about this decision, it caused a fierce quarrel. They worked for it their whole lives. They worked for it. You said it yourself. They deserve it. You don't believe in me. I believe in you for a joke. I believe in you more than you believe in yourself. But we will find another way. The wife believes that this is a selfish behavior. The future of the whole family is in danger. The money will be returned and the money will be stored in his father's account. But when he went to the bank, the desire to win over reason in his heart. With this, they won the first bronze medal in their business. With the money, the factory was built quickly. Ferruccio and Mattel have also invested in research and development. They designed a revolutionary engine. In order to solve the high fuel consumption problem caused by the increase in power, Ferruccio cleverly designed a dual fuel tank system. One for gas and one for cold. The other is for cheap diesel. When the engine reaches a certain temperature, a heat sink system will send the diesel gas into the oiler, replace the gaswork. This simple combination of power design is perfectly consistent with the energy and fuel economy. They took a broken car from the junkyard. After months of disassembly, robbery, assembly, the first Lamborghini tractor in the world was born. Just as the career was about to start, friend Matt O fell in love with a girl named Anita. But he was shy and didn't dare to go forward. Go say hello. Why should I? Because you like her? Maybe she doesn't like me. You'll never know if you don't talk to her. Seeing friends is always not a good thing. Filiju took the initiative to cross the bridge for her friend. The atmosphere was a bit awkward. The girl was late for class and only turned around and left. At this moment, they did not realize that the appearance of this girl would bury the seeds of division for their friendship in the future. When he got home, his wife reminded him that tomorrow was his birthday. No matter how busy he was, he had to go home early. The next day, Ferruccio was still struggling for the brand's name. In the end, he decided to use his surname, Lamborghini, to make the world remember this name. When he picked up the one from the sculptor's hand, he was one step closer to his dream. When he was enjoying his meal, he saw a woman rubbing her blood on the floor. He was told that his wife was in a difficult labor and had been sent to the hospital. He remembered the announcement last night. He was instantly drowned in endless regret. He went back to the hospital like crazy, but was still one step late. The doctor told him that his wife had lost too much blood and had left him forever. He looked at his cold lover on the operating table. The world of the very rich is completely broken. He rushed back to the factory and rolled up his hammer to smash everything around him. When he picked up the hammer and was about to hit the one with all his heart, the wife's smile was on his mind. This machine is not only his work, it also contains his wife's aspirations for the future. He threw the hammer helplessly. Rhetorical gradually returned. He understood that Lamborghini was no longer just a business dream. He is also the continuation of his wife's life. It is the promise he must fulfill. The most painful loss in life, sometimes it becomes the hardest armor. He put all his thoughts on his wife into the steel hammer. From then on, the dream has weight and direction. Looking at the sun and the treasure, Ferruccio made up his mind to create a beautiful future for him. He took a blueprint and a business plan to find a bank again. This time, his professionalism, confidence, and the sad story behind it touched the bank manager. Successfully obtained 1,000 tractor investment orders. The news came. Mattel excitedly hugged him. From this moment on, Lamborghini's legendary road is officially open. Wealth flows like water. Lamborghini quickly became Italy's largest tractor manufacturer. Success brought fame and money. but still couldn't fill the emptiness inside Ferruccio. He often sat alone, missing his lost wife, lost in memories of the past. And at that moment, a beautiful, finance-savvy woman appeared. She was the one who made Mattel, Anita, a girl in love. He became more proactive approaching her, but this scene rushed to its end. Brothers who walk through the storm may not share the rainbow, but dreams intertwine. Even the closest friendship can split at reality's crossroads. If I didn't take her, someone else would. I'm sorry, but she was never yours. How could I hurt my friend by taking what he never had? Mattel couldn't stand this betrayal. He took 25% of the company's shares. Separated from Ferruccio, watching the one who chose to leave. Ferruccio felt anxious. That's how life is. There's gain and there's loss. 20 years of light and shadow passed in a flash. Ferruccio went from a green teenager to a mature, steady businessman. Lamborghini's tractor empire stood rock solid. After all his fame, his desire for speed reignited. He got into a sports car, especially the legendary Italian brand Ferrari. He bought 7 cars in one go. He found a flaw he couldn't tolerate. Every Ferrari's clutch had a problem. In his own garage, after taking apart the Ferrari clutch, he just couldn't believe his eyes. The core of this expensive supercar wasn't the same as the one he used on his tractors. Strongly deceived, heart-pounding shock. He decided to confront Enzo Ferrari for answers. At the Ferrari factory entrance, he waited for Enzo to finish with his guests, only to get a brief exchange. He first acknowledged Ferrari's status, then slowly pointed out the clutch problem, and suggested cooperation and improvement. I come as a friend. I'm sure you know this. I'm not the first to point it out. I have a solution. If you consider a partnership, Ferrari and Lamborghini, you make the best cars in the world. But Enzo Ferrari was cold-blooded. When he learned Ferruccio was just a tractor maker, he looked down on him. Go back to your tractor farming. This insult completely enraged Ferruccio. No longer restrained, he accused Enzo of deceiving customers. Enzo replied he was uneducated and didn't know how to drive, then drove off. In that moment, a crazy new idea was born. He wanted to build a car faster and stronger than Ferrari. At a painting exhibition, a depiction of an angry girl deeply captivated him. That fighting spirit that never faded. It was the raw emotion of his heart right then. Just do it. He acted immediately. Spent big money poaching from Ferrari, Maserati, and Alfa Romeo. Recruited 3 top designers. Built a top team. Ferruccio came up with a brilliant concept. Build a super sports car with a 3.5 V12 engine. When the design draft was presented to the team, against all expectations for this supercar, the design completely defied mainstream aesthetics of the time, and that massive V12 heart challenged the limits of physics and engineering back then. But Ferruccio's attitude was unwavering. He had only one demand. 6 months later, he wanted this car to shock the entire scene. In the eyes of true creators, nothing is impossible, only solutions not yet found. This almost fanatical belief forged madness into an endless legend. The team was fired up by his passion, everyone diving into this impossible challenge. But reality loomed, and Anita, with her sharp financial instincts, saw the warning signs. She spotted the looming oil crisis and rising fuel prices. She thought gambling from tractors to sports cars was pointless, but her warnings fell on deaf ears. You're the only one who doesn't understand. Anita, everyone loves me. You're the only one. Everyone else thinks I'm great. Who are all these people who think you're so great, Ferruccio? My workers. My friends. They love you because you pay them. The moment they want what you can't pay, they'll strike and you'll be alone. Anita sacrificed everything for this family. For the empire he built, Ferruccio, lost in dreams and obsession, had long stopped hearing opposition. Meanwhile, the engine design hit a wall. The massive V12 wouldn't fit in the engine bay, and the sudden oil crisis made everything worse. The designer suggested reducing the cylinder count or redesigning, hoping to delay the plan, but Ferruccio refused. The bigger horsepower and faster speed is the purpose of this car, and Ferrari will also release a new car at the same car show, and he will never back down. After a month of hard work, the appearance design was finally finalized. In order to pierce that big heart, they cleverly removed the oil paint and widened the car body. The problem was solved. Looking at this clean and hard work in front of his eyes, Ferruccio showed a long smile. He took inspiration from the bull painting and combined the bull pattern with the shield. Designed Lamborghini's classic Angry Bull car, the first Lamborghini sports car in history, 35G GT was officially born. However, on the eve of the car show, Anita accidentally found out that Ferruccio was on a date with another woman, and the disappointment and anger that had been suppressed for a long time exploded completely at this moment. She filed for divorce. This long-term marriage, at the peak of her dreams, drew a climax. The day-to-day car show came to an end, but it was surprisingly cold before the Ferrari show, which was the highlight of the industry, and on the other hand, the Lamborghini show was surrounded by different waters. Ferruccio even sent someone to send Enzo a flower of provocation, an angry bull riding on the Ferrari's moon horse. Enzo's face was clear. Under the attention of the public, Ferruccio slowly opened the curtain of the Lamborghini 350 GT, that unique and sharp appearance. He instantly conquered the whole scene and overtook the body of the car with his unprecedented V12 power. From the moment of appearance, he established his unwavering status in the racing world. Since then, the car industry has spread a famous saying: "You buy a Ferrari when you want to be someone. You buy a Lamborghini when you are someone." Lamborghini Enzo left the scene in a flurry of cheers and this fatal quarrel. But the story didn't end there. In 1973, he created the Bullfrog dynasty by himself. In the end, he could not escape the trend of the era. The global oil crisis broke out. The entire automotive industry was hit hard. Lamborghini, such a large car, became the target of the public. After 7 years of hard work, in order to keep the brand alive, Ferruccio made a helpless decision. Sell Tian Lamborghini. Half the money from the sale of the company will go to you. The rest of my brothers. I put a clause in the contract. It says they must keep the name Lamborghini forever. From the boss of the garbage truck to the legend of the whole super run world, he won the opponent, but eventually lost to the ruthless era and reality. The angry bull that comes and goes is not just a super run symbol, it is also a blueprint created by a man. The film did not create the Playboy Lamborghini as a playboy. He used half of his life to save the legend and used half of his life as a price on the way to the ultimate. He lost his beloved wife and lost a friend who shared the trouble and sacrificed the warmth of the family. This may also be the truth that this movie, which was adapted from a chess story, wants to know. Before the legend was born, it was a human with flesh and blood. Enzo Ferrari's humiliating humiliation was just a spark that lit up the fire. What really drives him is the indifference and pride in his bones. He put all his obsession with fighting against the world into the cold machine. In the end, it became a wordless declaration. Never compromise. Pursue the ultimate and challenge all set rights. This is a soul that does not want to bow down. After being knocked down, he chose a more amazing way to stand up again.